Columbia, South Carolina is where I'm from, but I drove all the way down from Savannah to get this cut, man. The man is official, man.
You heard it from
all day.
You heard it.
The man official now. I drove from Savannah. The man official.
Already.
And I'm coming back at the end of August for my birthday to continue that 7-8 week wolf.
Another
You
wolf.
already know what time it is.
So this is the before, and this is where we begin. Yeah. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it down to a 1.5. He asked for a 1.5 because, like I say, he gonna do his 7-week wolf, I guess. But with waves, you have to, go about this slowly and make sure you don't, gash your client's hair or cut it in any other direction that you don't want to cut it in, because if you do, you're gonna have problems and your client gonna be pissed off and you probably gonna want to fight, because he gonna want to fight you for fucking up his head. But we take it all the way down to the desired length, as close as possible to that desired length, and just go over it repeatedly to make sure it's absolutely even. Please, I cannot reiterate this more. Please pay attention to the grain of the hair, the direction of the grain of the hair. And what I mean is from the crown to the outside of the client's scalp. You see where the little swirl is at the top? Some people call it a cowlick. I don't. Anyways, you're gonna make sure you're going with the grain, because you don't want to go against the grain or perpendicular to the grain, because you're gonna gap or gash your client's hair and it's gonna be Royal Rumble in that guy. But yeah, just pay attention to what you're doing. That's the big point. Just pay attention to everything that you're doing. Alright, now that I got that out the way, what I'm gonna do is take my two clothes and go against the grain. Now you notice I left the temples, the side temp and the back temp, a little bit dark, and I do that for a reason, because in my experience, all clippers grab hair easier when it's the longest and at the very shortest. So I keep it long, because there's no point in cutting the hair down to a 1.5 if then you're gonna cut it a second time going against the grain. So that doesn't make any sense. So I take the 2 and close it and go against the grain, and that's gonna blend in that top to the bottom a little softer. Since we're doing a light temp or a shadow temp, I'm gonna take my number 1 guard. It's gonna be all the way open, and I'm gonna make the line. He wants a low shadow temp, so I'm gonna make the line where it is. I use the number 1 open because typically that's where the transition happens from dark to light, and I'm gonna go from open all the way closed and just keep knocking that line, and blending the bottom of it in, going from the top to the bottom. All right, so now I got that out the way. I got the 1.5 guard, and it's all the way open. I'm going against the grain, and all I'm gonna do is just beat that line, just keep beating it, and gradually close the clipper, close the lever. And this is going to make the blend softer and softer and softer till eventually you're gonna see just a faint line, and that line is due to his wave pattern. You see the wave line is going through where I stopped my first guideline, the number 1 all the way open. So I'm gonna take the number 1.5 and go against the grain and keep closing it, gradually closing it, and keep tapping that line, Now this is the point where I take the 1.5, which is the length at the top, and go over the very top of that blend. Now what this is gonna do is gonna allow the long hair to blend in to the shorter hair. Right now I'm going to take my number 1 close, and I'm going to go just below that area that I was taking down with the 1.5 and take this down too. Now there's a difference between going against the grain and with the grain. Against the grain is going to cut the hair down to the desired length. With the grain is going to take off all those pricklies, or we call them roach legs, off of the top, so the blend looks a little nicer, a little more put together. So it may seem like an extra step, but in all, to make the blend look damn near as perfect as you can, go with the grain as well. So you just saw me flip the clipper over and go against the grain with the 1 closed, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to knock out that very bottom wave pattern. I can't stand waves in my blend. I mean, they're gonna be in there as long as they fade out evenly with the blend, they're okay, but I don't like harsh lines in the blend because then it makes your blend look unblended. So, you know, I want everything to look as perfect as possible. I'm a creature of habit, and that's how I like things, the way I like them, and I want them to look perfect. So I'm gonna try to get this wave out. I'm gonna do the same thing with the one above it in just a second. Alright, so knowing that I can't get this wave out with the 1 or the 1.5, I freehand it, or I like to chip at it. Some barbers call it chip at it. I don't have a name for it, but I take the clipper and I open it halfway so I can feed some hair, and I freehand it. And I'm gonna get this bottom of this this wave line out of here, because it's gonna, trust me, it's gonna look a hell of a lot better with this wave line going, and all you see is basically a blend up to the waves. Now I'm not gonna take the waves all the way out because then it's gonna look cartoonish, but get as much of the blend out as possible to where it looks good. Also, when you're doing this, you're gonna have to open and close the clipper to make sure that the density of the hair is how you want it, because if it's much denser, if the area is much denser in hair, then the other areas is going to be darker, no matter if the length of the actual hair is the same. Now you see me going to clip around the ears as well, because I don't want anything to be, you know, fuzzy. I know this part going to get lined up, but you want to make sure everything is even as possible before you move on to the next step. Okay, so I slap my 1 guard back open, and I have it about halfway open, and I'm just gonna work at this wave line. I'm just gonna keep tapping it, keep tapping it, keep tapping it. You're gonna have to trigger play, what we call trigger play, you know, open and close the lever depending on, you know, the density of the area you're trying to knock out. But, you know, art, creativity, it's all subjective. You're gonna just work at this until you get it to a point to where you like it. You the barber, you know it looks good to you or not. So you just picture that in your head and go for it. You know what I'm talking about? So finally we get to the half guard. I got the half guard on and I have it halfway open. I'm just gonna keep beating at this line, because remember, we're doing the shadow or light tint. We don't want to go all the way down to the skin. So I have the half guard halfway open, and I'm just gonna keep knocking at this little wave line down here. Eventually I'm gonna end up to close, because you got the drops, got the sleepy head, bobblehead. Yeah, you got to react real quick to that, because you don't want to gas nobody up. I'm talking about that straight fight music right there. Alright, so right now I'm going to get my Andis Slimline Pro LIs and cordless, guys. I ain't think these was going to work as good as they do, but hey, they get the job done. Alright, so now I'm going to line up around the ear area. This is the point when you start to actually see the blend coming together. You know, I don't know why I'm lining up the back. I be extra when it comes to these haircuts, but I just want them to look a certain way. And if you're a creative person, you understand my debacle. You know, creative people are their worst critic. You're gonna be your worst critic, and they going in on these fireworks. 4th of July there. I don't know if y'all hear all these fireworks going on. All right, I'm gonna make a rough outline, and what this is gonna do is gonna actually show you the blend. If you've never seen these Slimline Pros at work, you about to see what magic they do. So I'm gonna start this basic or general or rough draft lineup. I want to make this C cup as well designed as possible, but not designed to the point to where I'm making up a line. You do not want to make up a line, because it's going to mess up how his overall lineup looks, because it won't be natural. Then when it starts growing back, you got all this stubborn and it's looking super ugly. But anyways, make it as natural as possible, but as designed as it can be. Alright, so he wanted the bottom of his sideburns to be blunt, so I'm going to box that out. And then at the very bottom of that box, you see where the hair is a little darker. I'm going to take my the half guard and blend that out. Alright, so now I'm going to take these Slimline Pros and work on this box right here. Now, since his hair is a little bit thin, I'm making sure that I don't go back. I don't want to push him back. You don't want to push anybody back, but since his hair is very thin in this area, we want to maintain as much as the front of the lineup as possible. That's why I'm going to keep brushing, because thin hair tends to fly. When it flies over the line doesn't look as crispy. So I'm going to keep brushing and tap that line. You don't want to push it back. You just want to get those hairs that's falling over that initial line. Alright, so if you're a barber, you already understand that this is the hardest part to blend on any waver's hair, especially if it's a long length like this 1.5. And you're gonna see why in just a moment. You're probably already witnessing why, but I'm gonna explain how we're gonna get out of this tough little situation we got going on back here. So I have my 2 guard on and it's all the way closed, and what we're doing, we're just getting as much bulk out as possible, because bulk removal allows you to see what's going on. And you're probably seeing this line in the back, and this line is caused by no other than a do-rag. And once I start to cut it down, you're going to see that it's left a red mark in the back of his head. I still have this 2 guard on and it's closed now, but it's going to have a red line around it, and what that red line has been caused by is lack of circulation. And a lot of wavers get this line, or they have an indent because of the do-rag. But leave it to me, I'll show you how to solve that problem. So now I got this 1.5 guard on and it's open, and I'm just knocking down the bulk, because I'm playing the shade game. Okay, you don't want to go the same length on the side, because the bottom of this temp, you don't want to go the same length on the side of the temp that you did on the back, because you see how less sparse the hair is around. So if you use the same guard, it's going to be a little lighter and it's going to throw the whole haircut off. So I got this 1.5 and I'm going to blend this down instead of going up. When we're blending down, I want to close the lever gradually as we're moving further and further down the nape. Alright, so in this area where you still see this harsh line, I'm going to use clipper over comb, and I'm going to take out some of this bulk that's hiding under this layer of hair in the back, so I can see what I'm dealing with, where this line is, where his circulation has been cut off, which has deprived his hair from growing. So like I said, I'm show you how to solve this problem, but right now we're going to take this clipper over comb so I can get this bulk out, because I don't know what's under this hair that I can't really see. Using the 1.5 halfway open, I'm going to just keep working at this line. You don't want to take it down too fast, especially dealing with what we have here. We don't want to take it down too far, because can't really see like what's actually under the hair, like what's happening under the hair. So you're going to take it down as slowly as possible. Just like before, we're going to close the one and go with the grain, so we can knock out all those pricklies and anything that's keeping us from seeing what's going on in this specific area. Sorry about the camera angles. I didn't realize that I was all the way out of whack, but I hope y'all forgive me for that. But we're gonna keep pushing. And just like before, we're gonna take the number 1 guard. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna have it open at first and just go over this area. We're gonna lightly just take it down with the grain, so we can see what's going on. We don't want to take it down, too fast to where we gapping them up. You can see this areas to where his hair growth isn't as dense as any other areas, but got a little secret for that. Well, not really a little secret, but we're gonna use the tool that most barbers out here use, enhancements. They're not just for the lineup, you use them everywhere for situations just like this, and I'm gonna show you how I use it. But until we get to that, I got the half guard all the way open, going against the grain, and I'm flicking out as hard as I can, because I want to be able to blend that line in. And you see where it's, like I said, it's sparse, the density areas is sparse, and we're gonna be playing with that to get that all out. The blend gonna look smooth when when I get done with it, but you just gonna have to trigger play it. You have to work it by eye. That's gonna be a skill that's gonna develop over time. So I'll put the number one back on, and I'm working at this blend, because you gotta imagine that where his hair isn't going and on that do-rag line, that the blend is, going according to how you want to blend it, even though that area is skipped. So you just imagine it in your head, and you're gonna do it. Simple as that. Just like before, we're gonna take the naked blade, open it up halfway, and we're gonna use them corners to etch a sketch that line out. This is the line that I was talking about. It comes from your do-rag being too tight. This is the effect of that. I know you want to have your do-rag on tight, but this is what happens. But we're gonna fix it. Alright, so I'm gonna take my Slimline Pros, and I'm gonna make this bottom line as far down as the middle will allow it to go, because we all have the irregular pattern in the back. So you want to go up to the lowest or highest part of that area and start your line straight across. I like to start with my line at the bottom all the way across the whole back of the neck, because when we make the line on the side, we'll be able to judge how even it is. This is the tool we're going to use today. Topic hair enhancement, hair fibers, whatever you want to call it. We're going to use it to basically mask this red area back here. This is what enhancement is for, to make the haircut look as good as possible with what you have. You don't want to create things, you just want to mask or camouflage, make a haircut look that much more better, right? And I'm gonna hold those down with my holding spray. I use ISO Plus 24-hour hold. I'm talking about the bee's knees when it comes to holding spray. I can't stand spritz. I'm sorry. Alright, when I tell you these liners put in work, they put in work just by tapping the side of this line one time. But I'm gonna go over those again, because I'm a creature of habit. I want everything to be perfect. So I'm gonna make sure I get every hair that falls over that line. That's how you get a crispy line. No hairs over the line. So right here, I'm standing directly behind them, and I'm gonna make a little nick mark that's even on this side as it is on the other side. And then I'm gonna connect the back of the tape from behind his ear to that line. That's how you get an even line on both sides of the head every single time. Now what you're gonna do is keep working this line until it's as sharp as a razor blade. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't want to keep going back over it and irritating the skin, because the nape area is a very sensitive spot and people can welt up real bad and real easily. So you want to be careful, especially with these guys. After spraying the holding spray and brushing it down, we're going to reconstruct my man's line up. Alright, so I'm standing directly in front of him, so I see which side is the weaker side. The right side is the side that's going to take the most work to get sharp. That's the side we want to work on. And I'm just going to keep working it. And I know my arm in the way. Y'all can't see nothing. I'm sorry for that. I'll fix it next time. I'm just learning this whole tutorial thing. People ask me, to teach them how to cut. And this is the best way I know how to show them how to do so. So we're just going to keep working this line. You don't want to push them. Like I say, there you go, the drops again. You want to keep working these flyaways, the thin hair up to the front. So that's why I put the holding spray on, so I can hold them in place. And I'm just going to keep brushing while I'm lining up the whole entire box. Just keep brushing as you're going along with the lineup. Don't push it back. Please don't, because you're going to have a fight on your hands. Trust me. Alright, so now that we got a gist of that side, we're going to match the left side to the right side. It's going to be a very tedious process, since we don't want to push him back, because he's trying to grow his line back in. And with the right side being weaker, we have to match the left side to the right side, only cutting the bangs. Alright, you can cut as many of the bangs. We all have bangs. You can cut as many of the bangs as you want to, but not where the hair goes directly out the scalp. You don't want. That's when you begin to push back. So what you want to do is cut the bangs up until that point. That's as far as you can go. Now you're gonna see me keep tapping and tapping and tapping, and eventually this line is gonna work itself out to where it's even on this side as it is on that side. Now don't beat yourself up if you can't get it exactly perfect, because you do not want to push your client's hair back. You want to get it as even as possible. Now we get down to that razor. I like to dry shave in some instances. Some instances I don't. This one I'm dry shaving because there isn't too much hair on his forehead to be shaved off anyways. But what you want to do is make sure that you pull the skin tight, you stretch it as much as possible so there isn't any irritation, and work that line. Alright, so after we done brushed all that ash out of there, we're gonna take these liners and get all those hairs that's hanging over that initial line. This is what's gonna make the hairline pop, because it's gonna get it as clean as it can possibly be before you put enhancement on it. Yes, we're gonna put some enhancement on it. Topic to the rescue. We're gonna put some enhancement on afterwards to make the hairline up the front. Since it's thinner, we're gonna thicken it up to even it up with the rest of the hair. Put them fibers on that guy. Hit that line with them liners one more time for safe measure. And now we're going to lightly shave down the forehead to get rid of the whole spray and any, faint hairs on the forehead. We gonna hit that line up one more time, get it good and crispy, shave them up real good, and there you have it. You know what I'm talking about? If you learned something today, hit that thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I make one of these goddamn videos. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, you seen it here first, you know what I'm talking about? Homie say he drove all the way from Savannah. Say them barbers out there ain't on top of that game, so he had to come all the way to the V-Town to come holler at me. You know what I'm talking about? Had to get him fresh. Y'all need to do the same thing. Don't be sleep on you, boy. You know what I'm talking about? How you know, man? On the way, give him a 360 one time. Waves on swim already.